Good evening, viewers. Welcome to our feedback video on should we buy a VW T6.1, and obviously I brought the boss, as you referred to in several comments. Vanessa being the boss.
People clearly don't know the dynamic at this house.
Well, you know, you'd be an influencer. And tonight's drink is a vodka and tonic. Made with absolute vodka, isn't it? Prefer Smirnoff.
Order vodkas are available. And I'm having a black Rune because it's Monday.
Vanessa made this.
I
wasn't going to have it.
Only messing. Mom, let's get down to business. I have things to do.
Oh, that's beautiful. So tasty. I'm very stressed anyway. Okay, so first things first, I just want to say thank you to everybody for the amazing comments that people were sending in. So thanks a million. I was blown away by the amount of comments. There was a lot of comments. I think that's the most comments I've ever gotten on any video. And not only were the comments numerous, but the comments were lengthy. Like, people went to a lot of trouble in writing really long comments and in a good way. You know what I mean?
They know you like to ramble.
Well. Yeah, but they're amazing, and you know, like, I mean, you can see, look at the length of them, right? The amount of them, like, just really long. Anyway, so thank you very much, and I know people are probably maybe uncomfortable making comments, or the comments are very long, or whatever. But like, fair ball to you, and you're well worth, or it's a good thing to have your say. I would definitely be, you know, encouraging you to have your say on the thing. And I think I kind of tapped into a nerve. I've obviously tapped into some kind of psyche here, or whatever's going on, because it's clearly on people's mind with regards to whether we should buy a van or not. Now, it's emotive, you know, it's an emotive thing because I know there's people out there who want a van, and there's people out there who probably have their vans and love them and stuff like that, and then there's people who are thinking of trading up and all that. And so you know, it's an emotive subject. You know, people get quite passionate about it. So what I would say is, what it's coming down to is the comments seem to be generally on the don't do it, more or less, right? There's a few people who made comments saying just do it, and they're my kind of people. Right? So they're more, that's more me, isn't it? I'm more, you only live once, and let's just go for broke and all that kind of stuff.
Hello.
The only thing I'd say was that was the excuse the first time round.
Yeah.
You know, so and
the reason, not the excuse.
What
was the reason the first time round?
You'll have to speak up so they can hear you.
That was the reason the first time round, not the excuse the first time round.
So, wait, what did I say?
That was the excuse the first time round.
Oh, well, you know what I mean. It's a tongue-in-cheek thing. Anyway, so
people will pick you up on it.
Oh, so yeah. So the last time we were doing this, obviously we were really weighing up the pros and cons. The financial piece was a huge issue as well. So this time round, to say upgrade it or change it or stuff like that is more, it does feel like an indulgence. I do feel like I'm indulging myself in kind of saying,
because you are.
Yeah. No, I know, because again, and the point most people were making, and the emotive piece was that it's a lovely van. The van was bought. It's to be used to help us do what we're doing. It's not all about the van and so on and so forth. And you'd be generally you'd be just a bit nuts to do it because of the huge cost. Now, the only thing I'd say it all comes down to is the trade-in value, and that's an interesting thing, because I didn't realize I've never sold a car privately, so I didn't realize that if you sold a car privately you made more money than you do trading in, because when you trade in a car they have to kind of replace the tires and do the fluids and check it and all that kind of stuff, and that eats into their margin, so they give you less. But my understanding is, I did a bit of research in it, and my understanding is A, it's dependent on the quality of the vehicle you're trading in, and B, I can't remember what B was. It's to do with the quality of the vehicle you're trading in.
The demand.
No.
The price is to do with the demand. There's no point in trading in a car
well,
that's no demand for.
Well,
like having a ladder.
Well,
Nobody's going to want to buy
you're
that.
aging yourself now. So no, well, I think the thing is, what it comes down to is that the value of what you're trading it in, right? So you lose a lot more for that. So in some instances, I saw examples. They're saying it might be the difference of €1,000, but the downside is when you're selling a car privately, and we had this discussion. Say someone comes out of their woodwork and says they're going to give us €70,000. How do we do that? So they come up and we have to go to the bank with them and all that kind of stuff in a palaver, and then we have to deal with all the tire kickers and people wanting to come and see the van and this, that, and the other stuff. So they're saying you have to kind of weigh up the pros and cons. Now, obviously, if you're selling it privately, and it was $5,000. So the whole idea is going privately versus that. Oh, that's the thing. So that's the thing. If you're trading in a car that's a piece of junk, you get a lot less for it, obviously. You know, because they have to go to a lot more trouble to fix it up. Well, no, say it is resaleable, but I think a lot of them go to auction. So again, I'm blown away by the comments and, you know, the passion that came across in the comments. It really was. People were so, you know, it was me, I'd be going, yeah, just go and buy a new van. But people are like, oh, no, it's...
Because it's crazy.
Well, no, never mind what I'm doing. It's just how people felt was amazing.
Yeah, because they understand that it's crazy. And
it's
they're
not
right,
crazy.
because you did buy the van originally.
Yeah.
And it was to have forever. Do you know what I mean? So that's the first, and now you're looking at your forever going, nah, maybe not forever ever.
Well, the way I look at it is this way. The next van would be the forever van, in that I'm not getting rid of the van. I still want to have it. See, it's not like I'm selling it. There's a family, is it Mel, I think she's Mel's Life or something like that. She had her van for a few months and then sold it. So I was like going, whoa, she sold her Cali, like got rid of it and never replaced it with anything. I was like, wow.
Clever one.
So that's a bit drastic. That was a bit drastic, I think, you know, selling your Cali and getting rid of it.
Well, obviously just didn't fit in with her life. It wasn't what she thought it was going to be. And it makes sense to sell it.
Yeah, of course.
Punishing yourself just because you spent that much money on something.
Yeah, and the sooner you get rid of it, the better, because it retains most of its value. Absolutely, yeah. After 6 months, I think if you don't like it, then sell it and take the hit. I had to do that years ago with a brand new car I bought, and then I got a job, and it was a company car, and I had to sell a brand new Aventus. It was brand new. It was only.
I remember.
Yeah, and I took a massive hit at it. Anyway, so I was going to say something there.
You see, it's a keep.
Oh yeah, no, I pulled in when I pulled in the car tonight, and the van. I washed the van the other day when I pulled in, and she's clean and she looked lovely. And so, you know, there's a part of me. So this is the thing what it's coming down to. It's people kind of saying you're nuts for the few bits and pieces, and people are saying you could get spend €1,000 and get proper leather seat covers put in, and you know, get the split top, and you know, you probably could take out the pop top canvas and change it. And
I'd say you
and
definitely could, because if it gets damaged,
yeah,
you have to be able to replace it.
Yeah. So you probably can. So the whole thing I'm saying is, it's going to come down to the trade-in value. Now, there's a couple of people out there saying, even at that, you still shouldn't trade in the van because she's like a part of the family, yada yada yada. And I'm the
To be fair with the mom, she's a bit like the red-headed stepchild.
I'm going to shut this because that dog's barking. Who's the red-headed stepchild? That's offensive to red-headed people and stepchildren. It is. Anyway, so probably get a strike for that. Anyway,
I'm sure you'll cut it out.
no, I don't know. So yeah, so the van did look lovely tonight, and the emotive piece, and saying that it is all that, and yes, it is the dream, but the changes, and this is one of the points that people are saying, like, you know, are the changes worth it? And in my opinion, I think that depending on the trade-in value, obviously, the changes, it would be worth sacrificing the van that I do love, it, and it is a beautiful van, and I'm really happy with it. But I think that the few changes are the changes, the few niggles that do drive me nuts, that will drive me nuts forever.
But they haven't fixed so many problems that if they fixed them in the next one, would you go, well, no, I'm having a conversation with you. When you fix them in the next one, would you go, oh, they fixed them now? Vic?
No.
Like that whole press system is a disaster.
No.
The fridge is a disaster.
No, so keep in mind, right? The reason I'm not going to a van with a shower and and a toilet and all that kind of stuff, right?
Oh no, I'm not saying that.
Is because I don't want a huge van.
I'm not
right?
saying too.
So the ideal, it is perfect for what it is in that it is
I'm
compact.
not saying it's not. What I'm saying is the trade-off worth it? Another van to pay off for another 5 years, getting ourselves into debt because of 3 things that aren't the end of the world.
Yeah. So it comes down to the trade-in. It's going to come down to
It comes down
that.
to a discussion as to whether we're both willing to go into debt again for another 5 years.
Yes. Well, no, but it depends, because they could turn around, hypothetically speaking, they could turn around, and the difference between our van and the new van, hypothetically speaking, right? Say it's $5,000. You go, okay, $5,000. You could pay that off. Say even, over a few years, you wouldn't notice it. So it's really going to come down to the thing. I'll know myself. I'm not a complete idiot, right? I know when I walk in and your man tries to fleece me in VW, I'll go, that's not happening. Forget about it. Because like seeing the van tonight, the way when your van gets a bit dirty and stuff, you get a bit fed up with it, and then when you clean it and you look at it and you go, yeah, she's beautiful, and very happy. And I was looking at the cooker top, and I was going, it's not that bad. Anyway, the point I was
That can
making.
be replaced.
The point was, because obviously we ever broke it. The point I was making was that, you see, when Christian is older and he's gone to college, right, which is in 8 years now, roughly, right? So in 8 years he's going to be gone. The van will still be in great nick, and I will be off. We'll be going off doing trips and bits and pieces of it. He won't be in the van, so it'll be easier because the downstairs won't be converted into a bedroom, and the thing like the stereo, the doors, the roof, the way the thing can open and all that kind of stuff. The way that the tent opens, or the pop top can open at the front and all like that. I think they're nice. They're just nice things to do. Obviously, without repeating this video and making it the same as the last video.
No, but then 90% of the time, it's so chilly up there, you have to have the purser screen on.
That's true. But imagine
So that's a feature
when
you
we
have
were
to
away in
be able to
Italy.
use.
When we were, I suppose when we were in Italy, if you open it up, you'd have all the bugs coming in. Yeah. But then think about it when we're down in Kerry and we were parked on the beach. Imagine that we were right on the beach. If you open that, it'd be just amazing. Did we have the purser screen up there?
Yeah.
It was just still a bit chilly, was it? Yeah. But look, consider this. We have the van 4 years and it's done 30,000 kilometres. Now, we've gone on a zillion trips, but it's only done 30,000 kilometres in 4 years. It sits out there 90% of the time, more. So it's a considerable investment, whatever way you look at it. So
what was that?
it was off the water, off the
So
condensation.
with that regard then, is it worth replacing?
It depends.
Bearing that in
It depends. If it's a reasonable amount, right? So what some people are saying, 30 or 40,000. I'm thinking, no.
That's crazy.
No. I
Would you not go and
I
do
wouldn't be
your-
able to stretch for that.
Would you not go and do research as to getting the seats fixed with the leather that you want?
Yeah.
And then getting the top thing
Yeah.
replaced.
Yeah.
The balance thing, there's nothing you can do about.
Yeah.
And have a look at the...
This is the plan, right? The plan will be, if the new van comes out and it's reasonable, then I probably will go for it. Probably, right? Now again, people are going to go, oh, you're getting rid of that beautiful van and she's part of the family. I'm sorry.
Right.
I'm sorry. It's a bit like bringing the cat to the vet to get... It's a bit like that, right? It has to be done.
Nice.
No, I know, but it has to be done, right? So, but if not, if I can't afford it, and we'll find out soon enough. The price list is due in October at some stage, right? So this won't go on, and we'll do an update video again of this, right? If it isn't, then what I'll do then is I won't do anything to the van for the year, and I'll wait till we've paid it off, and then the payments that I would have paid, what I'll do is I'll put those towards making the changes, getting the leather seats. Like say the leather seats cost €1,000. That's one and a quarter monthly payments. You know what I mean? So that'll be that. Then I could talk to VW about replacing the pop top thing, and if they can't, I'm sure someone will. and then we'll talk to somebody about the top of the thing. Now someone's going to say, well, why don't you do all that now and keep the van? And I kind of go, yeah, that's a fair point. But if I can trade in the van and get all the extra bits and pieces that come with it, and it's not too expensive, then at least then I sell the van as original as it is, because it's in perfect condition and I haven't done anything to it. You know what I mean? So it'll be interesting to see.
Well, look, we'll get the. I'm against, obviously, but we'll get the price you want it. There's no point in me arguing with you.
No, it's not like the last time where I was kind of going, yeah, we're doing this. Now I'm kind of going, I'm 50-50. It's very much.
2 weeks ago. I'm getting that van.
Yeah, I know, but I had a couple of beers on me, and as a rush of blood, a rush of blood to the head. Yeah. So, well, when I first said it to you, your first thing was you're not getting it. You came straight out and said you're not. No, you're not.
I'd walked in after running 19 kilometres.
Stop telling me.
And what did you say to me? There's new VW van LV and the new T6.1. I was just looking at videos and I went,
when you
no.
speak, yeah, they can't understand what you're saying.
They're not supposed to be able to, because that's what you sound like. I was like, no, we're not getting it.
There's one other thing to factor in. Okay, in one of the videos, in the last video of the series of the videos going home, there's a bit where in the video, it's not the video to Venice, it's the last video, I think, right? There's 2 more videos to go, a video to Venice and a video coming home. And in that I kind of discuss about, is camping even for us? There's a bit about that, right? Because the heat was killing me over there, the bugs being eaten alive, and we just seem to be slightly off the mark with being super good at it. It's always just something a bit clunky with it or something, isn't it? It's just, we're never perfect at it. It's never like, well, that just worked out a dream. It's always some kind of issue with it. And I was like, I just don't know anymore. So the long-term view of our holidays going forward, right? Now, this is probably controversial, right? This is probably even sillier. Part of the reason I'm not considering changing the van, because one of the guys, someone was commenting last night saying, for the money that you were spending, that Dackle123, he was saying basically, his point being the extra money that you would spend could go towards funding some fantastic trips and everything like that. Now, if you extrapolate that, we were thinking for the money we spent on the van, we could have had some amazing trips around the world, but then we wouldn't have the van. Anyway, so what we're kind of getting at is that on some level, the holidays of the future. So in the video, I basically I'm saying that we probably won't leave Ireland again and we won't go on long trips. But what we're kind of coming up with is, so I'd like to go to Norway, right? And we've also agreed. See, when we went away to Italy, the campsite had a curfew. You had to be back by 11 o'clock at night or you couldn't get in. Now, of course, we had our home with us. We were driving around in it. But it didn't occur to us to think, sure, we could just park up and so it doesn't matter. The penny never dropped at us to think we could do that. So what we're thinking of going forward is that we won't go to any particular campsite. That, like, say we're in France, we'll stop in the Ayers, or we'll find campsites where we can kind of jump around, or we'll just pull into a little car park and sleep there overnight or something like that as well. Because this thing, I think, of going to campsites, I think that's part of the issue. Being bound to one campsite, I think, is part of the problem for me. And like, we've only wild camped twice in the 4 years we have the van, right? So the other thing then is, what we're thinking is that, so say we go to Norway and we go on a drive up to Norway, up through,
You're rambling now, Jane.
Okay. But then the idea would be we might spend a couple of nights wild camping, and then what we'll do is go to a hotel. Stay in a hotel for a night, shower, get refreshed, bits and pieces, and then hit the road again. And then, or stay in a B&B or a guest house or that kind of stuff. And mix it up and have the best of the both worlds, in that we'll head off in the van. If we don't find somewhere to stay, we'll just pull up and park wild and stay. Because remember, we had to come back from the lake, or we had to come back from the Dolomites. And we had to get back in time for the campsite closing, which was a bit silly when we think about it, because I actually wanted to go onto this big lake. And what we should have done was just done that and camped wild. So 4 years in, we're only starting to kind of make these kind of connections. So you see, so part of me is kind of saying that there's no point in trading in the van, because then in a year from now, when we own it fully, we'll have that extra disposable income that will go towards, like, say, paying for the fuel. It won't be as onerous on us to pay for the fuel. And also then if we go and stay in a hotel, which is a lot more expensive than staying in a campsite, whatever way you look at it, right? Staying in a hotel, even a reasonable hotel, is still going to be a lot dearer. Like, I'd say even a cheap hotel is probably 2 or 3 nights on a campsite. You know what I mean? There or thereabouts.
So, will we keep them informed when we get the prices?
Yeah, so how long is this video? Anyway, it doesn't matter. We're 4 minutes
20
left.
minutes.
Is it? How can you tell? Where can you see it?
21 minutes.
Oh, yeah. So what we'll do is we'll park it here. Feel free to comment again. And again, thank you very much. And comment on the other video if you want. And what we're going to do now is we'll wait until the price list comes out.
Yeah.
And then we'll sit down and make a decision. And we'll decide what it is. And if we get because people are going to be interested to see what we get for the van. I'd be very interested. And obviously if we get that kind of price for it, it'll be interesting to see what we would get if we sell it privately. And people's advice on how to sell things privately will be very interesting as well. Because I'd be nervous about someone coming up saying, I want to take it for a test drive, and
Go with them.
yeah, no, but then, you know, how do you get that money, and like, how does that work? They give you a bank draft, and it's all a bit kind of, I'm not used to all that, because every car I've ever had is new. I've never had to sell anything. You know what I mean?
Because you don't like it. Don't be surprised if we end up with 2 camper vans.
I hadn't even thought of that.
Jason likes to collect stuff.
Okay. Right, we're gonna go. So thank you very much again, and we'll talk to you soon. Hit the button.